Hey everyone, welcome to the RotoGrinders Morning Grind podcast. I'm your host, Stevietpfl. It's Monday, September 23rd. It's 2024. We have a 4-game MLB slate to talk about here on today's podcast. Riding solo today, going to do a Plate IQ screen share for the 4-game breakdown. So if you want to head on over to the RotoGrinders Morning Grind YouTube, you can get a free preview of what our Plate IQ tool looks like. So recording late here on Sunday night, Monday morning, technically, I guess now it's 2 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. Was working on some NFL stuff for Monday Night Football for our premium content here at RotoGrinders. So late night, but still wanted to talk some baseball. Last week of the regular season for baseball. Pretty exciting week. There's a lot of close races here in the wild card on both sides. I mean, the Braves are right there behind the Mets and the Diamondbacks in the NL. And then, really Detroit, Kansas City, Minnesota, Seattle, all kind of, even the Boston Red Sox and Tampa Bay Rays, like they're all, the AL race is a lot closer than the NL race. Should be a fantastic week of baseball, but yeah, it's Monday. Got to talk some baseball. There's some Monday Night Football as well. We are gonna roll out a bunch of premium content for that. Like I said, I just got done doing a lot of that premium content, so we'll have expert survey and rankings. Our expert rankings are up. I know me, Notorious, Dean, and Squirrel already had our expert rankings up for this week or for Monday Night Football. So if you are interested in that, you can check that out. All right, let's jump into this 4-game baseball slate. It kind of matters a little bit here. I mean, the Phillies are still battling the Dodgers. I think the Cubs are mathematically eliminated now. After this weekend, I don't think they have a chance mathematically to make the playoffs. So I think they're finally like mathematically eliminated. Boston still has like a very slight chance at this point. They would have to win every game this week, and a lot of teams would have to lose some games. So mathematically, Boston's still in. Where it gets interesting is the Seattle and Houston series. That's just a really close situation with Houston. And then on the Seattle side, Seattle's battling. They're 2 games back right now of the wild card. Baltimore is in the best spot in the AL wild card. Doesn't look, Boston. Baltimore can't catch. Baltimore cannot catch the Yankees anymore. I think Houston needs 1 win or a Seattle loss to clinch the AL West, and they can't win the AL. The Yankees are up 6 games or 7 games on them. So, and then San Francisco, Arizona. San Francisco mathematically eliminated now. Arizona, they're in a pretty decent spot. They're 2 games up on Atlanta. So, man. Yeah, this is live. We're live. Of course, it's live. Hi. Hey, listen, it happens. So that's the playoff breakdown to start the week. We'll obviously be talking a lot about playoffs and stuff here this week for the baseball podcast. But let's jump in and talk some baseball. We got Cubs and Phillies, 8 total. The Phillies a 178 favorite. Hayden Wazinski sounds like he will be the long reliever here. Nate Pearson, we haven't seen him. 2021, 2022, I think was his last start when I remember looking it up. So I don't expect Pearson to go long. He is going to open this game, and then Wazinski is going to come in, and then Nola on the hill for Philadelphia. We'll start here with Hayden Wazinski. Long reliever, not in this matchup for me. Just came back recently. He's only had 1 outing. He pitched 2 innings through 25 pitches. That was 3 days ago or 2 days ago. So I expect this to fully be a Cubs bullpen game unless we get a different starter announced. But it's going to be a Cubs bullpen game. We'll talk about these Philly bats on the other side in just a second. And then Aaron Nola, other side of this game, Cubs mathematically eliminated. Aaron Nola should be in a spot where he can go out and get maybe a little bit softer lineup. Philadelphia, I mean, they are still in a position to win the NL. So I think that Philly is going to do everything they can to win games right now down the stretch until either they get the win for the NL or they don't. So I like Nola. I think he's a really strong play here. He's 8,600 on DraftKings. It's a really good price tag for him. Bats, as far as the Cubs bats go, not a ton of interest. If we look at their recent stats, they've been hitting the ball a lot better here recently, especially the top half of this order. So if you did want to stack the Chicago Cubs, I could definitely see doing that. But I mean, I hate when teams get eliminated and they don't have anything to play for anymore. I feel like the morale is just down and like contract incentives potentially still in play. But overall, I'm not going to stack against Nolan in this spot. If I was, it'd be the power lefties here. Like I mentioned, it sounds like it's going to be a straight-up bullpen game for the Cubs. I like Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia is in a really good spot bats-wise. I think this is a spot we want to take advantage of. Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Bohm, Castellanos. Yeah, I mean, overall, I think that this is a spot you definitely like the Phillies and want to play them. Wisniewski, like, he's just not going to go deep in this game. Overall, like, he just came back. He has thrown a couple innings. Pearson probably throws one or two, and then Wisniewski probably throws like 2 to 3 at most, and it's just a straight-up bullpen game. I hate stacking against bullpen games, but it's a 4-game slate, so we have to do something on this slate, and I think this is one of the better spots. Philadelphia has one of the highest implied team totals. Arizona has the highest implied team total, and we'll talk about them when we get there. Boston at Toronto. Houck against Bassett, 8 total in this game. Toronto, a 120 favorite. Talked about it at the start. Toronto eliminated Boston. Boston has a slight chance to still make the playoffs. They need to win every game this week. I appreciate that. Hope all is well. The morning grind has been amazing. I do appreciate that. It's been a fantastic baseball season. Thank you to everyone that has listened and hung out. I've really enjoyed having YouTube, and yeah, I mean, this has just been fantastic this year. Chat, the YouTube channel continues to grow, and chat continues to grow, and I love it. We will be doing some playoff baseball. Obviously, NFL shows will continue. Basketball's right around the corner. October is just going to be kind of we'll talk about this and that kind of month, but we will come out strong for basketball as well. Started working on the basketball schedule the other day, and it's going to be fantastic. Houck against Toronto, 8K, still worried about the arm issues. They seem like they have been limiting his pitches more and more, so I just don't know if I could do it. I do like the fact that this team has a lot of right-handed bats, and Houck is much better against righties. So overall, I think I'll probably stay away from Tanner Houck in this one. But yeah, I mean, 60 pitches last time out. They keep talking about fatigue with the arm fatigue. I just can't do it. I don't want to risk it here. Bassett on the other side. I mean, overall, Bassett for me, he struggles against lefties. They're going to have a lot of lefties in this lineup today. Duran, Yoshida, Cassis, Abreu. Devers, it sounds like Devers won't play again this season. I guess unless they made the playoffs, and I don't know. They put him on the 10-day IL. And unless they made the playoffs, I think that he's going to basically be out for the rest of the year. So that is a downgrade to this lineup, but still, unless there's a lot of righties, I don't think I could do it with Bassett. Looking a little bit recently, Boston has been struggling. So, like, if you did want to take like a tournament shot on Bassett, I guess it's not the craziest thing. I mean, I watch Boston baseball a lot, and I didn't even need to switch to the 30-day numbers. I could have told you that they've been struggling a lot. So, I guess, like, overall, I don't hate Bassett as much, but I still think it's a tougher spot. He strikes out righties more. Duran, Yoshida, Cassis, Abreu. If those are the only 4 lefties, I think you could take some shots on Bassett. As far as the Boston bats, I like Duran. He's having a fantastic season. Kind of under the radar season, but yeah, I mean, it's been a good year. I think he has like 30 plus stolen bases. He's hit 20 plus home runs. Just really solid production all year. I don't hate Abreu as like a tournament play. He hits with power against right-handed pitching. Those would probably be my 2 favorite bats here. I'm not stacking the Red Sox in this spot. And then as far as Toronto, I mean, Tanner Houck has been solid, but I just don't expect him to pitch too deep into this game. And I guess I should have mentioned Tyler O'Neill is banged up right now too. He like hurt his back or something, and he didn't play the doubleheader. Second half of the doubleheader on Sunday. I do remember that, and I just forgot to bring it up. Maybe I like Bassett a little bit more than I originally thought. As far as the Toronto bats, Nathan Luke sitting, if he hits second here, he's 3,300. I like him as a value play. With Tanner Houck struggling recently, it's been much more against left-handed hitters than it has been with right-handed hitters. So I like Nathan Luke's. I mean, you could always play Vlad. I think you play Vlad against anybody, really. Horwitz is not the worst option as well. He's still 3,800, but I hate using him at first base. I wish he was cheaper. Yeah, I agree. I do think Houston or Arizona is going to be the very chalk team here. Talk about that in just a second. Seattle at Houston. Eight total in this game. Houston a 150 favorite. Bryce Miller, Hunter Brown. Kind of an important game here. I think if Houston wins this game against Seattle, they clinch. I'm pretty sure that's what I read. So, yeah, I mean, big game. I don't want to play Bryce Miller against Houston. I will say that Jordan Alvarez is banged up. I think he has to. It was like sliding. He slid into second, I think is what I read. So he's going to get checked out. So we'll have to pay attention to that. But Jordan Alvarez out of this lineup, definitely a bump to Bryce Miller. But you see it right here with Plate IQ. Like, this team just doesn't strike out against right-handed pitching. I mean, the highest is Singleton at 24.9%, but everybody else under 20%. It's just a low strikeout matchup. There's not a lot of upside. Bryce Miller's been pitching really well. I mean, he's a guy that, again, the whole Seattle staff seems like this is just a really good pitching staff in general. But he scored over 20 DraftKings points in 4 of his last 5 starts. I just think this is a lower ceiling spot for him. Absolutely love the other side of this game. Hunter Brown gets a strikeout-heavy Seattle lineup. I mean, this is a guy that I definitely want to play today. You know, there's 3 pitchers that I like quite a bit. Nola Brown and Rodriguez. So we'll talk about Rodriguez in the next game. I think like Bassett is that like next, like you could potentially play him depending on the lineup. But yeah, this is a spot. Hunter Brown, good strikeout pitcher. He's done a great job limiting power recently. And yeah, I mean, this is a team that just strikes out a ton. Everybody in this lineup should have a strikeout rate over 20%. So absolutely want to target Hunter Brown in this spot. And I think they'll kind of give him his normal leash, even if he gets in maybe a little bit of trouble. This isn't like a must-win game for Houston. So I assume that he'll get 90, 95 plus pitches here. And he's had some tough matchups here recently. So hopefully he can get back on track and have one of his strikeout games here. Like Brown. I think Brown, Nola, Arizona is the chalk build today for what it's worth on a 4-game slate. As far as the bats for Seattle, I think Kyle Riley and Luke Raley would be my two favorite bats here. When Brown has struggled, it's been left-handed power. He's been giving up more fly balls, just in general to lefties, and more power. Like his hard contact is up 51% against lefties here recently. But still, I mean, he does such a great job limiting barrels. Riley, Rayleigh, I think are the two that you want to target here. I think Cal Riley I think he has 31st home run, just absolutely crushing the ball. What a fantastic catcher play most nights. Bryce Miller's a good pitcher. I don't typically like to target him. I do like left-handed power against him. So if Jordan Alvarez misses this game, Kyle Tucker, but it'd be interesting to see if they give Jason Hayward a good lineup spot. If Alvarez is out, I could see using those two guys. I don't know like how much full stacking I will do on this slate. Probably only build one lineup. It's 4-game slate. There's a really nice 2-game NFL slate. So I probably end up only building one lineup today. And if I do that, I don't know how much exposure I will get to like full stacks outside of maybe Arizona and Philly. I like Philly. I think Philly's another full stack team. We finished it out. San Francisco at Arizona, 9 total in this game. Arizona 175 favorite. Hayden Birdsong going up against Eduardo Rodriguez. We'll talk about Rodriguez in a second. Birdsong is someone I definitely want to pick on today. Obviously, we just said we'll see what happens with this stack, but they're going to be popular. Birdsong, he's been getting hit pretty hard recently. He hasn't been giving up a ton of home runs, but his command and control issues is something that I think will get better. And I think Hayden Birdsong actually has some talent, and he's someone that we probably play a little bit next year. I think he obviously needs to spend this offseason working on command. And I think that he will. I mean, he's a young pitcher. So command is the issue. Right-handed power is the issue. Left-handed power is the issue. Arizona, a team that has really just played really, really strong baseball over the last couple months. Carroll started hitting. Peterson's having a phenomenal year. Walker's a tough matchup. Pavin Smith has been hitting with power all year when he's been healthy. So tough matchup for Birdsong. I'm probably going to pass. I like Arizona. I like right-handed bats against Birdsong more, but I still think when you have a fastball changeup combination, lefties will eventually these numbers will start to come back to normalize, in my opinion. So, yeah, I mean, his barrel rate's down, but overall, I think this is a spot I want to target Arizona. I'll say this. Arizona's going to be really chalky on this slate. I think Philadelphia is an excellent tournament pivot off of Arizona. But yeah, I mean, I guess I went into talking about the bats without talking about Rodriguez, so kind of skipped a beat there. That's my bad. That's what happens when you do a solo podcast. Eduardo Rodriguez is probably my third favorite pitcher on this slate. I don't necessarily like Erod overall, and I'll probably end up playing some San Francisco bats against him. I'm gonna do everything I can in a one lineup build today to play Nola Brown. I just want to make that clear. It gives me $4,000 per player. I think there's plenty of value this time of the year, even on a 4-game slate. So there's going to be some cheap bats, and you'll be able to make it work. So I just think San Francisco strikes out a ton. So Rodriguez has some strikeout upside in this matchup. He's kind of reverse splitsy. He strikes out right-handed hitters a little bit more than lefties anyway, and they're probably going to hit. Maybe Yaz in there, maybe McRae. So at least 7 righties potentially. I like San Francisco as a pivot off of Arizona bats as well in the same game. And one of the reasons why is they're just really cheap. Chapman 4,500, like him a lot. Ramos has hit left-handed pitching all year. He's 4K. Fitzgerald's been my guy. Absolutely love this guy. They're on the road too. Mark Canha. The more I think about it, the more I might play this 3-man of Chapman, Fitz, and Ramos. I really like that 3-man. I think that 3-man is super solid. Yeah. And like it takes up some good positions and they're not overly expensive. If Casey Schmidt cracks the lineup here, he's 2,300. You could play him at second base and make like a nice little 4-man. But yeah, I mean, I have interest in San Francisco. With a one lineup build, I might just end up playing like Philadelphia, San Francisco, and fading Arizona. So I think that's a way to potentially get different on the slate. I like San Francisco. I like the San Francisco bats here. I think this is a solid spot for them. Hopefully, Casey Schmidt grabs a lineup start here today, and we get another another cheap bat in the lineup. Arizona, again, they're going to be really chalky. Whenever you have a pitcher struggling with command, you always want to stack against him. He can start walking people, a couple big hits, and you're off to the races. So we'll see how that kind of works out. And someone in chat was asking about Del Castillo getting sent back. I mean, here's the thing. Marino, when he's good to go, they're going to have him. I wouldn't be shocked if Castillo gets called back up today for what it's worth. Like Marino's hurt. I know that he's going to get checked out on Monday. It wouldn't shock me if Castillo gets called back up and he's in the lineup on this slate. So pay attention to that. They also have, was his name Herrera? I think Jose Herrera. And Herrera is I'm pretty sure he's a good defensive catcher. So that's probably, I mean, playoff baseball defense and, good catching matters. I'm sure he's a good, catcher in that aspect. So maybe one of the reasons, but yeah, I mean, Arizona's in a great spot. Like I said, Birdsong command issues. You want to attack command issue pitchers. Arizona is, I mean, they have the highest implied team total. I think they're the top stack on the slate. I think if you want to get different, Philadelphia, San Francisco are two of my favorite teams to get different on this slate. I think both of these teams are in play today. And yeah, see how it kind of works out. I guess I'll attempt to play the morning grind game. Under 8K to get 7 or more or 6 or more strikeouts. I guess Rodriguez. San Francisco does strike out a bunch. So if I had to pick somebody, I'd probably pick Rodriguez. Over 8K to score under 15. I'll go Miller. Tough matchup against Houston. And I mean, it's Nola, Brown, or Miller. So Miller's the odd man out for me in that scenario. Over 4K to hit a home run. Man, give me my boy Matt Chapman to go yard here. I like Chapman. Under 4K to get 2 hits. There's a couple hitters that I wrote down that are like exactly 4K. You know what? I'm gonna go to Nathan Lukes. He should hit second here today. Doesn't have a home run this season. Let's turn that around, Lukes. Let's get that going. Let's get us a home run going here. So give me Nathan Lukes as my cheap bet to get 2 hits today. Stack to score 6 or more runs. Give me the Giants. I like the Giants today. I think they're probably going to fail, but I like them today. That's it. No betting portion of the show today. There wasn't any props up when I checked that I liked, and I'm not going to have a 3-pick parlay today on the small slate. I will say, just nothing like jumping off the page to me that I feel super comfortable betting as far as like a 3-pick parlay. I was trying to pull up. I had a football bet that I really liked. I'm trying to remember what it was. I have a bet that I really like, but I can't remember what it was. My phone is not in the office with me, so I can't look at like all the bets I've placed already. I don't remember what it was now. Sorry. I was like, I know It was in the Washington-Cincinnati game. I think I bet Joe Burrow. Yeah, I bet Joe Burrow over 1.5 passing touchdowns and Terry McLaurin over 3.5 receptions as a parlay, single game parlay. So yeah, there you go. Hope everyone has a fantastic Monday. Back on Tuesday talking baseball. Good luck, everyone. See you then.